What is up, my fellow Zettelkasten freebie-seeking YouTuber shitweasels? It's been a while. I hope all is well. Now, I've gotten a few emails saying, "Hey, Scott, I want more, Zettelkasten videos. Is it coming soon? I want more, some insights into the classification schemes and, how do I do numbering?" It's like, come on. I've already freaking written a 594-page book. I've written a free freaking guide that you can get if you're not broke and can pay, a few bucks for the cost of shipping. I've created a ton of videos. If you want more, insights on main notes and all that stuff, then guess what? Here's what you really need to do. You need to sit on your ass and have some assiduity, which means sitting on your ass until you do it. And by that, I mean, you need to actually start freaking writing. So the reason that I haven't actually created a video in quite some time is because I've been busy. I've been busy actually freaking working with writers, independent writers, and helping them launch their own books. Like 76-year-old Kathleen Spracklin, like a few weeks ago, she launched her own book. And she launched it using something called an analog knowledge funnel, which involves an analog book, an analog monthly newsletter. Now she's killing it. She has a freaking vibrant community. She's making a decent freaking living, and it's her first month. And then also there's Stephanie Ann. She just launched hers a few weeks before Kathleen's. She's making over $1,100 a month. So I'm also working with 20 plus other independent writers behind the scenes. That's what I've been up to. And I want you to be coming along in this journey. And I'm going to start by igniting a little fire under your ass and showing you a behind the scenes in my daily life. Okay. And what writing and living an analog lifestyle, an analog knowledge lifestyle, actually freaking looks like. So I'm going to just show you this. My life is kind of boring. I get to the office and I've created this little area for me. This is like a Tibetan Buddhism little meditation pillow, whatever the hell you want to call it, and a mat surrounded by books. I sit on my butt and I read and I write and I, refresh on. These are all vocab words that I've collected from various readings since the year 2006. Here's my chaos box. I go through that and I just freaking read. That's what I've been up to. You would think that doing this and unplugging and not being locked to a computer screen all the time, I have the lifestyle of a starving artist. Well, I'm here to tell you, I make over $40,000 a month doing so. And the reason is because I do something unique that not a lot of other people do, is I actually don't jerk myself around on FAP GPT and try to take the easy way out. Writing by hand is the key, and that's what I teach with the Antoinette Zettelkasten. So if you're looking for more metadata conventions, that's what all the Obsidian PKM junkies out there do. That's what all the dorks on the digital Zettelkasten forum, the Zettelkasten Reddit, that's what they freaking do. That's not what you do. That's not what my fellow freebie-seeking Zettelkasten YouTuber shitweasels do, okay? So that is the first thing that I wanted to declare. The second thing I wanted to declare is something actually useful for you if you are going to be writing with an analog Zettelkasten, okay? And that is this. I'm going to just show you behind the scenes. I've been working on a book, and I've actually written it out by hand here. You can see it written on note cards. And today I was going through a section. I just want to show you this. There's this, okay, I was writing out this section, okay, and I'll zoom in here in a second. But there's this conversation that happens when you write out and pre-process your thoughts on note cards, and then you go and write it into a digital word editor. You reread what you've written, and it's not as clear as you would have thought. Also, you come up with more ideas when you're writing in digital form. And so today I was writing this section right here, and I was writing about leverage, okay? And you need to leverage yourself, by either coding or writing. And what this reminded me of, okay, I actually just wrote about leverage. Then I added all of this other stuff, okay? And here's how I did this, because when I was writing about leverage, I was like, oh, this reminds me of what Naval Ravikant wrote. And Naval Ravikant, he has this book. Here it is on this my ledge. I ordered one of them, then I put it on my bookshelf and couldn't find it, so I later on ordered a second one, and then I found the second one, so that's why I have two. Anyways, the idea of leverage reminded me of something Naval Ravikant wrote about. So instead of me trying to go through this entire freaking book and find that section, what I did was, and this is where an anti-net Zettelkasten becomes helpful, is I went to my old bib box here, and I opened it, and I pulled out the section, and here are the cards. And I basically refreshed and reread essentially the book by going through these bib notes. This is the Naval Ravikant book. And I got to this section right here. You see that it's at page 34. It says, you need to leverage yourself. Types of leverage, capital, labor. And he says, if you can't code, write books. Okay, then permissionless leverage is the ones utilized by the newly rich. Okay, so I was like, okay, perfect. Now I can write about that and properly cite Naval Ravikant, and that's what I did. I have a footnote right here. You'll see this if I scroll down, and you'll see in the footnote it says, like, for more on permissionless leverage, you know, and the tapestry of ideas unpacked in this paragraph. See Jorgensen, The Almanac of Ravikant, 34 FF, which FF means basically the following pages. So this section was appended and added, which I think adds a lot of value, because I was just talking about leverage here, leveraging your way to writing, you know, how you write to freedom here, essentially. And that's one point that is useful if you're actually a player, not just a knowledge junkie looking for Zettelkasten content. Okay. The second thing here is I wrote this note to myself that to do maybe also include 5250A/3/5/1B/1. And the reason is because as you're going through and rewriting, and that card is basically this card right here, where I list out a table that I've kind of evolved about these different properties of, you know, digital publishing versus analog publishing. And in going through it, I'm like, this kind of takes away and distracts people from what's really important, which is why I didn't include it. And I put this as I'm going through the edits to maybe include it later on. And the reason I put maybe include it is because I believe I have a section where later on I talk about the analog versus digital publishing, and maybe then I can put that this card in this book. So as you can see, really all this comes down to is just sitting on your butt, writing, doing things the old way, the deliberate way, the best way. That's pretty much it. Now, if you're a subscriber of the Scott Shepard letter, I'm just going to show you this. I've got a bunch of books that you'll see the bib cards sticking out of them. I am in issue number 18 of the Scott Shepard letter going to detail step by step how to take like these bib notes from this book and install them, extract them out and install them into your anti-net Zettelkasten. If you're an early subscriber of the Scott Shepard letter, you know what, and you haven't stuck around, the last 3 issues have been like just insanely freaking good on sharing anti-net Zettelkasten material, topics, all of that stuff. So, you know, if you haven't yet, check out the Scott Shepard letter. That's it. That's all I'm going to shill. I hope this helped you out and you know, provided some value for you on what the realities look like of being an analog revolutionary. Join the frickin' alliance. Stop dicking around in Zettelkasten Reddit. Those are all dweebs and posers. And actually start writing, producing value. There's something that I talk about in my big beast mode book, Anti-Net Zettelkasten. I say you need to shift from a mindset of growth to a mindset of contribution. Contribution is writing. So frickin' write on, sit on your butt today, write by hand, and let's get going. Peace and love. Stay crispy, my frickin' fellow shit weasels. Love you. Peace and love. Peace. Bye.